Jake, you look like you work out.
I don't.
Well, maybe that's because you don't have anything that actually gets you in the mood to bike for a long, extended period of time.
You know what they should do? They should do something with like VR.
Well, VirZOOM has actually done that. They've made a bike. It's pretty small and condensed. While you're doing that, you'll wear a VR headset. It doesn't actually, we tried it with Sony VR, but it doesn't have to be Sony VR. It could actually be Oculus.
Yeah, they said it works with Oculus, and then there was something else that they said it worked with.
Basically, it won't work with a phone. It has to be something that you're able
Yeah.
to tilt with because it needs that tilt in order to
The motion
function.
tracking.
And it was something I've actually never done before, and I was actually pretty into it. I was working out pretty good.
Yeah, they were like super basic games, but they still I could see how they'd want to get people to work out. Like the first one I think we played was you're sort of a cowboy and you're just kind of lassoing bandits as you ride through a city. And that was kind of fun. You'd lean left, right, and your horse would go that way. And basically, the faster you pedal, the faster your horse would go. And then when you get close, you'd hold down the trigger and let go of it and pull a bandit off of his horse.
Right, and what they were doing was they were making every round of bandits would be faster, so you'd have to pedal faster. So the longer you're playing, the more you're actually working out. And it was pretty unbelievable after about 5 minutes of doing it. It was pretty sweaty.
Yeah, how long? We did it about 15 minutes each, and I'd say it was a pretty good workout.
It's a pretty tough workout. The second game was race car driving, and that was the one I thought that was a little bit disjointed for me still, and that's just because you're in this position where your brain thinks you're going really fast, but your body is stagnant, and I actually did end up crashing into a wall to see how it would feel, and it was weird because my body didn't have any jolt. There was like when you play a racing game, the controller typically vibrates to give you the impact or the feel. There is nothing like that, so it's a little disjointed.
Yeah, I think that was my least favorite of the three, just because it did feel weird. Like I'd be pedaling kind of fast and the car would be zipping through, and it just, and then you'd hit a wall, and it was very discomforting.
Which is interesting too, because there was actually no bike simulation. Of all the simulations we played, nothing was a bike. And then finally there was a Pegasus.
This was my favorite.
This is obviously my favorite too. It's so good. You're in this beautiful magic field. There's little bunnies and cute little animals near you, and you're just trotting along as you're pedaling. But if you hit one of the controllers on the handlebar, you fly. Your Pegasus spreads wings, and you soar over the canyon looking below you.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing when you first start to get up and you look down and you see the whole forest below you. I mean, once again, the graphics aren't super realistic, but that's not necessarily what they're going for. As they said when we talked to them, it's more so about just trying to get that basic sort of gameplay hook down, and then hopefully getting people to work out as they play this game. Do you think this is something that you would continue to work? I mean, if you got this, would this convince you to work out? Would you be working out on a daily basis with this?
I mean, I have to admit, I constantly want to work out and I have zero drive. So this is something that I could absolutely see the potential for. Is it there yet? Those are good questions.
They also said something interesting too, is that there was going to be online multiplayer with all these games. And there was also going to be I think they said $10 a month?
Yeah, so the price structure for this is it's $200 for the bike. Now,
you get 5 games right off the bat.
5 games. If you want to do it with Sony VR, now you already have to have the PlayStation and the Sony VR. So it's racking up pretty quick. So this still isn't cheap. But if you already have those items or you're planning on buying them, this is not a super expensive edition. $200 is nothing to scoff at. But in terms of exercise equipment, it's normal. That's fine.
Yeah.
In addition to that, if you pay the $10 a month, which is what I think they're encouraging you to do, then they're going to just continuously release games and content. Plus, you get the multiplayer, so you can actually race your friends online or your Pegasuses as they were, and try to compete online with your friends.
Which I think is what's going to make this game, because the 3 games we played were fun, but I don't know what the longevity with that is. I don't know if that'll keep me coming back to exercise, but I think with that $10 a month when they keep adding new games, I think that is something that could hook a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. It is a heavy price point though, so that's something that we're just gonna have to see if people kind of can jump on that bandwagon. I felt it. I felt the heat. I got some sweat going on.
Yeah, broke a sweater too.
Yeah. You get your heart rate up a little bit, and it's exciting to see where the future holds for exercise and VR.